everybody. I'm Ken Clark. I'm the editor of Hardware and Building Supply Dealer. And for the past year or so, whenever I wanted to reach out to the Northwestern Lumbermen's Association or the Mid-America Lumber Association, I would reach out to Cody Nuernberg. Now, the two associations have joined, and my life has become much simpler. And here to talk about how his life has changed after the merger of these two associations into the new group called BLD Connection is Cody Nuernberg. Cody, please say hello to our audience.
Hey, Ken. Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Take us through the steps and the timeline with the merger of the two associations.
Absolutely. So it kind of all started about 5 years ago, funny enough, at a pro dealer industry summit. We threw out the idea of initially it was thrown out as a merger right away. Let's get married and live happily ever after. And we said, well, we've been through a few of these over the years and certainly seen our colleagues and peers around the country do these. And I think the idea was let's date first. Let's go on a couple dates. Let's buy each other dinner a couple times, and then see if this is really a good fit. Obviously, the geographical fit was great. We've got Iowa, we've got Nebraska. You move down into Kansas, Missouri, and as far south as Arkansas. So we said, all right, let's manage. And for the last 4.5, almost 5 years, we became the managing partner of Mid-America, we being Northwestern Lumber Association. Funny enough, both 134-year old associations, both started in 1889 and 1890, literally within months of each other. And all that time ran as the same company, same names, etc. And as of August 31st, it all became official. Their board members came up to our board meeting in August, and the rest is history. September 1, we became one company under Northwestern Lumber Association at that time.
Cody, how did you come up with the name?
So, we went through, as we talked about, we went through the merger process between NLA and MLA, and at the very same time that we agreed to do all of that, the board kind of started asking the question. I went to them and said, we need a new logo. We were always states and a tree, and it gets pretty long going down the chest when we're tacking on, the central part of the United States. And one of our board members said, what are we northwest of? And we all kind of looked around the room and said, Chicago. And so we really didn't have a good answer for it. So the board actually took it upon themselves, and we actually went through, I think, 13 other names. And literally at the 0 hour, BLD Connection came about. And BLD Connection, Build Connection, which is also then a call to action for our members. We want our members to connect with us. We want our members to connect with the industry. We want our members to connect with their colleagues and peers, whether it be dealer or supplier. Really, that's what we're here to do, is to connect them to each other, connect them to the industry and the resources that they need to run a strong business.
There was a time in this country when I think every state had its own individual lumber association. We've seen a lot of consolidations over the years with associations. What are the pros and cons, in your opinion, of keeping at a state level or combining with other states?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, having an individual state association is fantastic, as with any association, though. And I've been doing this now for about 14 years, and I grew up in the industry. My mother's an association executive, so I've been around it. And, state associations are great as long as they can be supported. And as we all know, lumber yards, even the suppliers, they're contracting and or going out of business. They're not opening as fast as they're closing. So your support level, your opportunities are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So the only way to stay effective, I shouldn't say the only way, but one of the best ways to stay effective is to reach outside of your boundaries, reach outside of your borders, and partner with somebody else. The pros are you come together, you put a lot of people, behind one voice. Whereas you got 50 different voices out there speaking, it can sometimes get conjarbled, as I like to say. So again, coming together, putting a lot of resource behind one big push or a number of pushes is oftentimes is a better thing. And again, we've seen it. When I started, there were 26 state and regional associations, and that was 14 years ago. We're now down to 12.
If you're just joining us, we're talking with Cody Nuernberg of BLD Connection. Cody, what are some of the top of mind issues on the minds of your member dealers?
First and foremost is workforce. And you could even throw succession planning into that. Where does the yard go in the future? The owners are ready to retire. What's the plan? Finding a workforce has been an absolute we've been beating our heads against the wall. There are certainly a number of amazing lumber yards out there. They're all amazing in their own way, but there's a number of them that have put a really good effort into employee recruitment, employee retention. Some do it better than others, but it continues to be an issue. It's not there's not a lot of college or high school programs out there saying go to a lumber yard, go work for a lumber dealer, go work for a supplier. So again, the workforce issue is huge, and that stems all the way down the stream to the contractors, the subcontractors. I was talking to a dealer the other week. He's got somebody that wants to build 2 massive pole sheds. They told him, the labor we're going to need to build these is going to take us 3 years. We're all fighting with a lot of the same people. Here in Minneapolis, you got a lot of warehouses, a lot of trucking facilities, things like that. The dollars are huge to go and work for some of those places. And our dealers are doing their best to combat it, but sometimes can't even get close. And so again, finding people is a big thing. Then once you get them, it's educating and trying to make sure that they're trained properly. We all struggle for time. So the education piece is huge. And that's frankly where we feel our wheelhouse is at BLD Connection. So again, you got that all those 2 pieces of the pie, the workforce. Certainly supply chain continues to be, it's not as bad as it was, but it's certainly still out there. And then, the big thing obviously is interest rates and housing affordability.
Well, Cody Nuernberg, that's an excellent rundown of the issues and challenges facing our industry. I want to say on behalf of HBSD, we're glad that you are in our industry helping to push for solutions and remedies to all the above. It's always great to see you at the NLBMDA events and lumberyard events and industry events. And it's great to see you here virtually. Thanks for joining us today.
Appreciate it.